Welcome back. Another selling tip and maybe a bit of an explanation for you about should I go for auction when I sell my property or should I go for a private treaty? Well, in some parts of the world, an auction makes perfect sense. In some parts of the world, down in Sydney and Melbourne, it's expected that you'll go to auction. They have huge demand, they have an open home and 20 people come through, and when you've got a really high demand for a limited amount of supply, auctions can make sense. But let me just give you some examples here of why it also makes sense to look at private treaty, and sometimes private treaty can be even better. So let's say I've got two buyers. Buyer with $450,000 to spend and buyer with $500,000 to spend. If these two buyers go to an auction, the $450,000 buyer is going to stop at $450,000. In an open auction, this person can pay $500,000, but he won't be asked to. He'll only be asked to pay one bid higher than that buyer, which means he might get the property for $455,000. Now, he was capable of paying $500,000, but the auction system only generated one bid higher than the second highest bid, which we call the underbidder. Now, is that ideal? Well, let's have a look and see what would happen if we had the same situation of two buyers in a private treaty. Well, two buyers in a private treaty. We've got one who's got $450,000 to spend, and we've got one who's got $500,000 to spend. The way this works is we go to each of those buyers and we say, you get one shot at this. What is your best bid? So for this buyer, what is the bid that you are prepared to make that if you were not successful, you would walk away and say, that's all I was prepared to pay for that property? And of course, this person would say $450,000. Now this buyer's got $500,000 and also wants the property. And we say to him, what's the best bid that you would make where if you did not get, if you were not successful, you'd walk away from the property and be happy? If they've got $500,000 to spend and they think the house is worth $500,000, they'll give you $500,000. So we have two buyers here, but we get the maximum price in a private treaty, whereas in an auction environment, we end up with one bid higher than the second highest bid. Now, auction can work. There are times where I recommend auctions as the right way to go. And your real estate agent will give you some nuances to explain that a bit further. But in general, you're not missing anything by going for a private treaty.